And in this section, we'll go through what the market did last week, the key levels we'll be watching this week, and the possible scenarios that could play out. Remember, this video is not about prediction, it is about preparation. So first, the first pair on my mind here is the XAU USD pair, which is the gold pair. And as you can see, I've already marked out a particular projection I'm looking out for. But going first to the higher time frame of 4 hours, what can you see from this? Well, we can see that the market was originally, from this point, it was originally on a downtrend, which is obvious. But then there's something I noticed on the both on the 4 hours and on the 1 hour time frame. It started forming higher lows, right? This is this is one here. This is an higher low here. Then it also formed another one here. As you can see here, this is an higher low. Then it also formed an higher low here. So presently we can say it is trying to change its character from a downtrend back to an uptrend. So what we can be looking out for on gold charts is for a buy. And on the 15 minutes time frame, normally I trade with other blocks. So I'm seeing something like this. As you can see, this is a low here. Then after that low, it also formed another low here. So I'm expecting it to form a third low, and the third low I'm expecting it to be around somewhere here, and that is why I marked my buy from around here. So what I did was to go back to my 5 minute time frame so that I can see a trade where my risks will be low. So the market has gone up, and I'm expecting, okay, from here it went up here, came down back here, then it break that side to this point. So I'm expecting a push back down to this level before going up for me. And for some people, they would have said, okay, why didn't I target the recent high as my take profit level, which is somewhere around here? Well, you will notice that during the month of March, even February, the market was not really stable. It was just, in fact, some of our profit we just look as if it's view once. So you have to be careful when you are trading. So that's why I'm not targeting too much this period. I'm only targeting one reach to four, one ratio, four risk to reward, and I will just take my profit at that level. So this is what I'm looking out for on gold. Now let's check other pairs like GBP USD. I think I've also marked an analysis there, and as you can see, currently gold is kind of on a downtrend, right? It's on a downtrend. For those who trade with the trend line, they can see that this is kind of going down presently. It's on a downtrend. So what am I going to be looking out for? Well, let's go to my 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. And on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that we also have a mini trend there, which is also more of like a sell. It's on a sell. So what I'm basically looking for here is either a change of character to the upside, or I just maintain the downside. So presently, my outlook is still for the downside, which is on the 15 minutes time frame. And as you can see, it has been forming lower highs, lower lows. We have lower high here. This is one here. This one is also lower. We also have another one here. So I'm expecting another one around this area. So what I'm basically looking for on GBP USD is for market, after all this movement he has made, is for market to come tap into my zone here. Then from there, we expect a massive move down. Nevertheless, if that did not hold, then my alternative bias will be for the market after forming this. Then I will have a change of character. Then I'll look for a lowest price that I can get in for the trade. Then I'll look for a buy for that. Then I'll be targeting the highs for my take profit. So for GBP USD presently, I'm having double bias, but for now, I'm keeping to the sell. I'm expecting this market to come back up into this, then I'll take it for it. So that's what I'm looking for on GBP USD. Now, for USD card, the market is not really clear. As you can see, it's just forming small candles, and it just keep tanking up like that. So I'm not really going to be looking much on that pair. I didn't even mark any analysis for that. Then on USD JPY, I have another markings here. Yes, we have a change of character presently. We have a change of character to an upside, because if you look at it, after the change of character, like this side here would have been the change of character, but I maintain this side as my break of structure. So after this break of structure, I'm expecting market to tank back down, to deep down, and tap into my other block here, then go for a buy. But I'm not just going to set a pending order at that level. What I'm going to do is I'll wait for price to get back into this box first before I now look for, I go to my 15 minutes time frame, then look at the price action or the market structure around that area to determine if my buy will hold or I will need to change my bias. That is for USD JPY. Now for AUD USD, I've also marked something out on that. And what I'm marking presently is for a sell, because as you can see, we already have a downtrend around this area. For those who are using trend line, I don't trade with trend line, but it will just help you see what I'm looking at. You can see that it's currently on a downtrend. Nevertheless, I'm going to be looking for a sell around that area. And my sell, when I brought the time frame down to 15 minutes, this is the closest order block I could see for now. And it is too close to the present market price. So what I'm going to do on this particular pair is I'm not going to take any trades for AUD USD on Monday. I'll just wait and look at how market wants to react on that pair. Now for GBP JPY, market has been ranging. You can see in this area here, market is just ranging. Nothing significant is happening. A lot of wicks, a lot of noise. So it's not even advisable that you take any trade for now. Then the next pair is Euro JPY. Now, there's something interesting about Euro JPY that I've noticed. Previously, I was already waiting for another block around here, because you can see that we initially had a change of character here. Then market went back up, tapped into our other block, then came down and broke the structure here. That's how I got this BOS, break of structure. Now, after this break of structure, the market is supposed to go back up and tap into this box here, which is my other block. But presently, market is just ranging below that box. It has not tapped that box yet. So I still have more tendency. I still have more confidence that this market will go back up into this other block. So instead of just waiting for the price to get back to that side, we can just look for an opportunity to take a buy on this trade. And that is how I was able to get this price, this other block from here. So as you can see, market started surging up from around here, and if the market is to turn back down from here, this is the most reasonable order block I have here. If you want to understand how I'm able to mark other blocks and fair value gap things, just subscribe to this YouTube channel, because a video that is going to explain that is coming up. But for you to learn faster, you can also request to join my Telegram channel. So this is the particular candle that I'm looking out for my order block, and I'm expecting market to come back inside here and tap in to this zone before going up. And that one is for Euro JPY. So on Monday, I will still update my students who are already on the Telegram channel, because they are the one that will be having access to the live signal that I'll be dropping based on all this analysis that I've posted. The group is also open for anybody who wants to join. Just follow the contact details in this video description. Then the next pair that I also have there is USD chef. Yes, USD chef. And on 4 hours time frame, 15 minutes time frame, we're all having a buy. So I also have my other block. Now, someone would have said, maybe why not trade somewhere around here for my buy? Because for some people that used to like to trade maybe double bottom, blah blah blah, they would have said let them take somewhere here for their buy. But that place can be a liquidity sweep. So I'm not going to take any trades there. I'll just maintain my other block here. And I'm also targeting 1:4 risk to reward. In fact, for almost all the pairs that I've marked, it is just 1:4 risk to reward I've been using. Then for AUD card, there is nothing special that I'm looking out for on AUD card. So I'm just ignoring that pair. I also have something interesting on Euro GBP. Yes, Euro GBP. Currently, on the 4 hour time frame, we already have a change of character. Initially, if you look to my left or to the left of the screen, you will see that we're on a downtrend. This is it, we're on a downtrend. Then all of a sudden we had a change of character. Then the market came down and tapped into our zone here, and we're expecting it to start going up. That is what we're looking for on a 4 hour time frame. So since we're expecting it to go up, then when we reduce our time now to 15 minutes time frame, we'll still be maintaining that outlook of a buy bias. So what I'm looking out for a buy bias is looking at the lowest point I could buy to be on the safer side. And when I marked that out, I got two order blocks because we have a small break of structure around here. We have another break of structure around this point. So we have about two lows if you look at it. We have one low here, which is what you are seeing here. Then the second low is somewhere around here. So those two lows now presently have produced two other blocks. Yes, those two lows have produced two other blocks. Now, which one do you think will be the safest for me to trade? Well, for me personally, I like trading the last order block, especially when it comes to currency pair, because this one, a lot of traders might be looking at this point, but the dangers around here is that the big market, the big whales in the market can decide to use this as liquidity sweep. And if you take a buy from this place, you can get liquidated. So to be on the safer side, I like targeting the last low. That's the last price, the most reasonable other block that I can find here. That is the last. So if the market hits this my box and still take me out on take stop loss, then I'll be certain that yes, this market has truly failed. I don't want a situation whereby when I get in on this side, the market take out my stop loss, then I'll be looking for another opportunity to still buy on that same pair. That would be like taking double risk on that pair. Moreover, I have other important pairs too that I've marked analysis on. So there's no need for me to take double risks on just one single pair. Now, what I'm looking out for based on all my explanation on this particular pair now is after this higher high, higher low that this has formed, I'm expecting it to come back, tap into this, then go up for me. And of course, what I'm also targeting there is not more than 1:4 risk to reward. So that is the markings I have on all my pairs for now. I did not mark anything on US oil and some other pairs, but those ones that I mentioned in this video, that is what I'm looking out for. But we still need to talk about the fundamentals for this week. There are a few important economic events scheduled that could create volatility in the market. And during major news releases, prices can move aggressively. So it is always important to either stay out during those periods or wait for market to settle before looking for setup. Now, if you head on to your Forex Factory page, you will see everything you should be expecting in the markets when it concerns news about Forex trading. Today is Sunday when I'm marking this analysis, so you can see that the market is always closed. But starting on Monday, the first high impact news we have is for US dollar around 3:30 p.m., where the Fed Chair Powell speaks. And after that, on Tuesday, we are going to see high impact news on CAD, Canadian dollar for 1:30 p.m. So any pairs, in fact, whenever you see a red folder on any of these currency pair, just know that during that time, you are going to experience an aggressive volatility on that pair. Any pair that you are trading that has this particular currency. For example, 1:30 on Tuesday, we have high impact news for CAD, the GDP high impact news. So during this period, around 1:30, if you are trading maybe USD CAD, CHF, whatever pair you are trading that has CAD behind it or in front of it, you should be expecting aggressive volatility around that period. And in this case, we have the forecast at 0.0%, while the previous are 0.2%. So meaning the price, the percentage drops. So if it drops, that means we're expecting Canadian CAD pair there, CAD currency to drop. So if you are trading it maybe for example on USD CAD, if CAD drops, then USD will gain strength. So I think I've explained something like this on one of my videos. You can check the other videos on my YouTube channel that talks about reading the news so that you can understand how base currency or quote currency reacts to what the news is telling you. Now on that same day, that should be on Tuesday. We also have another high impact news on by 3 p.m. on US dollar for GOLTS job openings, and a medium impact news on US dollar around that period of 3 p.m. as well. And if you compare the forecast figures with the previous, we see that the numbers also drop. So if this drops, that means we're expecting a fall on US dollar around that period. Now, Wednesday, we have ADP non-farm employment change, because that will be the first week of the month, April 1st, and we're expecting NFP on the Friday of that week, which is this week we are entering. But let me just say this week we've entered already because today is Sunday. So we have three high impact news, around 1:15, then the remaining two around 1:30. Then we have another one around 3 p.m. So for the first one, which is around 1:15, the forecast drops compared to 63. So that means US dollar will lose strength. For the next one, the percentage increase, 0.3% increase over 0.0%. So US dollar will gain strength around that period. The next one, US dollar is also going to gain strength. And you can also check for the others just the same way I've checked for all those ones I mentioned. Then on Thursday, we also have unemployment claims. Now, mind you, there's a switch, there's a little change in when you are checking for news forecast. For example, all other news that you see here, you will notice that if the forecast is higher than the previous, that is indicating that the pair will increase. But that is not the case with unemployment claims news. If the forecast is higher than the previous, that means the currency will lose strength. To be sure of this, you can just open the details here and you see it clearly where it is written. Here you can see that actual less than forecast is good for currency. The reason is because for unemployment claims, it's just talking about number of people who lacks employment. So if they are more than previous, obviously that means it is bad for the economy. And if it is bad for the economy, then the currency will obviously drop. Then on Friday, which is April 3rd, we'll be having the NFP proper, and it's coming in three forms of high impact news around 1:30 p.m. The first is the average hourly earnings. The next is the non-farm employment change and the unemployment rate. The first one, which is the average hourly earnings, for the forecast we have 0.3% and the previous 0.4%. So the percentage drops. So dollar will lose strength. The next one, the percentage increase 56K against minus 92K. So that means dollar will gain strength. And for the last one, we have 4.4% and previous 4.4%. No movement, no too much movement on that particular news. Nevertheless, you can see that the news are not pointing to one particular direction. One is pointing up, one is pointing down, one is up pointing nothing. So around that period, it will be difficult to ascertain the perfect way to trade those news. So the plan for the week is simple. If the price respects the key levels that we mentioned when we're checking the technical analysis, we just look for continuation setups. That's all. But if the structure breaks, like there are some where we saw that we're expecting maybe a change of character or a change in the trend, we'll just adapt and look for opportunities in the opposite direction. We are not going to rush the trade. We are not going to force the trade. And at the end of the day, the goal is not to trade every move. Always remember that. The goal is to trade the right move. You want to stay disciplined. You want to protect your capital and focus on high quality setups only. If you would like to join my Telegram channel where you can get first-hand experience of how I trade with my community, you can also request to join my team via the contact that will be in the description of this video. So I hope you enjoy this video. If there's something you can contribute concerning this video as well, you can do well to comment that in the comment section. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more educational content. See you in the next video.